Hello, everyone. I think I am live. I hope I'm live. If everything is working to plan. I can see people are watching. Hello. Happy Friday, everyone. It's been a long week, hasn't it? But we're here. I hope you have a beverage because we're going to be celebrating today. I'm going to be live for an hour and we're going to be doing some reading sprints, which will be fun. And I also thought I'd do like a quick Q&A. So this is your kind of preemptive warning now, or warning is a weird word for it, but basically drop any questions you have for me in the chat and we will basically chat through all your questions. And they can be on anything. They can be on me, publishing, books, YouTube, anything you want. So drop any questions you have in the chat for me. And we're just going to have a good old time chatting books, chatting YouTube. And I can't believe I've hit 10K. So basically, this is just a celebration of all things to do with that. And it's a celebration of you guys as well. So it's, thank you so much for 10,000 subscribers. So that is why we're here. Thank you so much. It's super lovely. I can see someone has said, I've set my alarm and got up at 3:20 a.m. here in Australia on Saturday morning. Congrats to you on your 10K subscribers. And where are your subscribers from? That's so cute. Thank you so much. That is amazing. I can't believe you got up at 3 a.m. That is amazing. Well, thank you for joining. And I hope you enjoy the next hour, basically. We will be doing some reading sprints, so do grab your book. I am currently reading. I should probably flag what I'm reading. The Burning God by R.F. Kuang, which is the third book in the Poppy War series. And this is a grimdark fantasy series. I'm sure you've all heard of it. Like, if you've been watching my channel for the past year or two, you will know that I read the Poppy War, absolutely adored it, and then have taken my sweet time actually reading the series. So, it's taken me a while, but these books are so chunky, and it's just taken me a while to read this series. But basically, I am 51 pages through this book. So hopefully we get a chance to do some like super quick reading sprints, and it's just going to be a great time. So say hello in the chat if you can. It would be lovely to hear from you, see who's actually watching. Do say hello. I would love to chat to you guys. Someone said, I'm looking forward to reading that book. Well, prepare yourself because it is intense. Let's just say that. I just adore this series. And I think the reason why I love this book series so much is usually, as a lot of you guys may know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I'm a big romance reader. But this series is, it's not romance. This is very dark fantasy. And I think that's what I love about it, is it's just so different from what I usually read. Obviously, I do read a lot of fantasy, but like this is just grimdark fantasy. It's very war focused, and I don't read a lot of books like that, so it's quite refreshing to me actually to read a book like this. So yeah, just for your information, I thought that we could start reading sprints at 1:45, so 45 minutes past the hour, and we can read for 15 minutes until on the hour. So basically that's 15 minutes of reading. I've also got another one probably scheduled for a bit later on during the hour, and we can just see how we feel. But first, I would love to hear from you all. So please do say hi in the chat. And whilst I kind of wait for some people to join, I thought I would answer some questions because there have been some questions that people have been asking me on Instagram and on Twitter. So if you're not already following me on Instagram or Twitter, this is my handle on screen, Bookbell Reads. Which way is it? This way. So do feel free to follow me on there. But I thought I would go through some questions that I've been asked on Instagram. So the first question that I've been asked is from Lynette Reads on Instagram. And she says, would you rather only reread the books already read, or only ever be able to read new books to you, or new to you books? This is like super hard. And as soon as I saw this question come in, I was like, that is cruel. Because while I'm a big rereader of books, and I particularly I have favorite books that I always like to reread, the thought of never being able to discover a new favorite book is actually pretty upsetting to me. Like, that is just, is that okay? Probably not. I don't think I'd be able to have a booktube channel if I didn't like read new books, do you know? But then again, the fact that, you know, the idea of not rereading books like Pride and Prejudice ever again, I don't think I could do that. So I'm going to actually go with rereading the books I've already read, because, you know, I think like Jane Austen plays a big factor in that. Basically, I just need to be able to reread Jane Austen at some points in my life, you know. And then we've had another question on Instagram come through from Chiema C98, and they said, what is your current job? So if you don't know, my current job is head of publicity at HarperCollins Publishers. So I do work in book publishing, and I've worked in book publishing since 2014, I think, so quite a while now. And I love my job. I get to basically shout about books all day long. It's basically an extension of my YouTube channel. I just get to talk to people about books. So I basically run publicity campaigns, and that includes, you know, placing articles in the press about authors, getting reviews for authors, going around the country on tour with authors. Basically, it's super, you know, you work super closely with the authors, and that's why I love it so much. So every day is completely different, which is always a good time. And yeah, that's my job. That's what I do. If you have any like publishing questions, let me know. Like, I know there are quite a few people who found my channel through my how to get into publishing videos. So if you do have any publishing specific questions, then do drop them in the chat. Let's have a look what other questions I've been getting on Instagram. A question from the same person. So Chiema C98 said, what is the trope you dislike the most? This is a great question, because I recently did a video all about tier ranking popular romance book tropes, and that video is so much fun to film. And I think the tropes that I really dislike the most, I really hate insta-love. I don't know if insta-love is a trope. Like, would you call insta-love a trope? I'm not sure. Let me know what you think in the comments, in the chat. But I don't know if I would call insta-love a trope. So trope-wise, I hate anything like accidental pregnancy, or like that's kind of how the book resolves at the end, if we're talking about romance tropes. I really hate, and I mean hate, massively hate, any memory loss trope with a fiery burning passion. Like, are you guys with me? Do you like a memory loss trope? Do you hate a memory loss trope? Let me know in the chat. But I have issues with it. I think like if it's done well, then okay, it's acceptable. But most of the books that I've read that have had like a memory loss trope, or like, oh, you know, they've had this big incident where they've lost their memories and they have to get their memories back or something, I just hate it so much. So I would say that's my least favorite trope if we're talking about like non-romance specific book tropes. Let me know what your least favorite tropes are in the chat, please. I would love to know, because there are some divisive ones. So yeah. And then a question from the chat says, how many books have you written? Well, this person obviously knows that I do write books. So I've actually completed writing one book, which I'm currently editing. It's currently still a work in progress because I'm lazy, and just finding the time to focus on writing is really hard, because I feel like all of my hobbies, like my entire life, is basically books. So I work in books. I work in book publishing. I have a YouTube channel. I like to read in my spare time, and I like to write in my spare time. So yes, I have completed one full novel. It is a fantasy novel, and that's probably all I'm going to say, because one day I'd like to try and get it published, try and get an agent, who knows. But yes, I have written one book, and the next project I'm working on is in progress. So I'm going to say that. And then we've had some lovely people join the chat. So Skinwood Steph said, congrats on making it to 10K. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for joining this live show. I'm really excited to have you here. And someone else said, hello, congrats on 10K. Thank you again so much for joining. I'm really, really, pleased to see you guys in the chat. It's so lovely. Because I often feel with like videos, like when people are watching my videos, obviously like you can't connect with those people live in the moment, you know? So that's why I just thought I'd do a live show for this and get to connect with you guys. I also know that obviously there's been lots of new subscribers coming to my channel, so if you're new, please do say hi either in this chat or in the comments of my videos more often. I would love to hear from you. So yeah, any other questions, let me know. And just to flag, in 4 minutes I think we're going to have a quick reading sprint. If you've just joined, I am going to be reading The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. I'm not very far into it, but it is intense. And this is not one of those books where you can just like binge read it. You know, I've been reading a lot of romance lately where you can read it when you're just not feeling very, I don't know, like paying attention to a book. And with this book, you can't do that. Like you have to read it at your full attention. And so that's why I kind of wanted to do some reading sprints in this 10K celebration, because I need to finish a book, guys. Like my reading has been slowing down a lot. So that's all fun and games. Please do let me know what you're planning on reading during these reading sprints in the chat. I really want to know, like, what books are you guys currently reading? You know, are you trying to finish a book today? Are you trying to finish a book in, you know, in this live show? I would love to know. We've had a comment saying you could use Premiere to talk with viewers as the video plays. Just an idea if you want more live chats with viewers. Yes, I have been meaning to do more premieres, you know, and I just haven't, because I always, whenever I see a premiere pop up from another creator, I'm always like, oh, they've picked a really good video to do a premiere like this. So I always feel like a premiere should be for like a really big announcement video or like a big video, but maybe I should just do it for any random video or like a book haul or something. I think that could be quite fun. So yeah, new comment says, congrats, Lucy. What is your favorite book you've read this year? Oh, that is a really good question and is really, really hard. I'm trying to think of like all the books I've read this year. Let me think. I think my favorite book that I've read this year is a book called Stolen Heir by Sophie Lark, which is a romance book, and it's actually mafia romance. And I know, bear with me here, bear with me, but it was just so much fun. And also the writing is really brilliant, really well done. And if you're a fan of romance, I think you will really enjoy the Stolen, like, I think so Stolen Heir is the second book in the series. It's part of a series called Brutal Birthright, and it's my current obsession. I'm just like obsessed with it. So super enjoying that one. And I think that's the favorite book that I've read this year. So it's all fun and games. We have someone who is going to be reading Aggie Morton, Peril at Owl Park, middle grade, based on Agatha Christie. That sounds amazing. Oh my God. I really do not read enough middle grade, and I need to sort that out because there is so much good middle grade around. And I need to start that. Maybe I'll do a series on my channel where I do try and read more middle grades. Let me know if you'd be up for something like that, if you guys are big middle grade readers yourselves. So yeah, this is your 1 minute warning that we are going to be doing reading sprints at 1:45. So that is 45 minutes past the hour. And yeah, I hope you can join me. So yeah, hopefully you all have a book ready. And if you haven't yet, let me know what you're going to be reading in the chat. I hope you also have a beverage. I've, of course, got a celebratory Prosecco because it's 10K. Yeah, like we have to do it. It's also Friday night, so it's been a long week. But I'm going to be sipping on my Prosecco whilst I read The Burning God. And I can't think of a better situation. Someone has said, what are you going to read? I am going to read The Burning God by R.F. Kuang, which is the third book in the Poppy War series. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm only a few pages into it, so I'm going to use the next 15 minutes to get started. So I'm going to put a banner on screen just to show you guys when we're going to be doing the reading sprints from and to. I'm also going to mute myself so you don't get any background noise. I don't want you to hear me slurping. So I'm going to pop myself on mute, and I will see you guys on the hour, basically. I will see you in 15 minutes. Happy reading, and let's check in 15 minutes. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome back. I have read 14 pages of The Burning God, and I'm really liking it so far. It's very like strategy based. It's very like, obviously it's about a war, so it is very like not dry in places, because like R.F. Kuang is an incredible writer and none of her books feel dry, but like it is quite heavy on the like more military side of things, which is really interesting. I can see a few more people have joined us in that sprint. So hello, welcome to my 10K celebration. Thank you for joining us. And let me know what books you've been reading in that sprint, and let me know how many pages you've managed to read as well. So I'm quite impressed that I managed to read 14, because this book, as I said, it's like you can't just quickly read this. So I think I've done okay there. And it's just nice to have like 15 minutes even just to dedicate to reading, because I have been like really lax with my reading of late. But there you go. I can see someone said, Skin with Steph said, I'll actually be editing my booktube newbie tag. I'm guessing she means rather than reading during these sprints. Hopefully that's okay. Also, yes, get your Prosecco. Love it. Of course I did. That's so exciting about the booktube newbie tag though. You'll have to let us know how it goes. And also everyone check out her channel, of course. We've also got someone new joining saying hello. Hello. Thanks for joining us. What else? So Danny says, I've read about 10 pages of Belgravia by Julian Fellows. Yes, I really need to read this, because this came out like a good few years ago, I remember. But I hope you're enjoying it. Let me know in the chat if you're enjoying it, because I do love some historical fiction. So John Saxon said, reading Joe Hill and 7 pages. Again, Joe Hill is another author that I really need to read at some point. Obviously, I know that, yeah, his books are supposed to be super, super amazing. And if I'm not mistaken, he is the son of Stephen King. So that is super cool. But yeah, I really need to read all these authors. Like, you guys are reminding me of all the books that I need to read. So yeah, let me know if you have also been reading during that reading sprint. Let me know what book you read and how many pages. But I thought we could just do some like Q&A. Like, let me know if you have any questions for me. If not, I will just like chatter on for ages just about books, my channel. Someone said, do you think 49 is too old to start a YouTube channel? No, absolutely not. Like, I am a firm believer in the fact that you are never too old to do anything. And I think like YouTube had like a few years ago, like when I started my channel, like how long ago? Like I started in 2013, so 9 years ago. I think YouTube felt like a younger place, I think. But now I think I know people of all ages who have YouTube channels, and I think that's amazing. So if you want to start a YouTube channel, I would say go for it. It's amazing. It's so much fun. I love having the outlet. And I think if you want to do something, go for it. I think YouTube is a space now where there is something for everyone and you will find your audience. So I would say go for it. And good for you for starting a YouTube channel at 49. I think that is so, so cool. Does anyone have any questions for me? Let me know in the chat. Let me know what you're doing this weekend as well, because I've completely, of course it's Friday night, and the fact that if you're in the UK, you're spending your Friday nights with me, that is amazing. So thank you. I'm actually going to the cinema after this, and I don't even know what we're seeing. Like, me and my partner are going to the cinema, and I can't remember what the film's called. It's like everywhere, everything, everywhere, or something. I can't remember what it's called, but we are going to the cinema after this, which I'm really excited for. But yeah, let me know what you've got on this weekend. Are you going to be doing a lot of reading? Let me know. I am hoping to get further into The Burning God as well. I mean, it's a chunky one, so it'll take me a while. Someone said, I think this is relating to the YouTube channel question. It's just another medium for creativity and Expression, yes, completely agree with that. And I think it's quite nice because I don't know about you guys, but a lot of my like in-person friends, or like friends, you know, that I've kind of known for years, you know, it's hard to kind of have people and find people who have very similar interests to yours. And a lot of my friends don't read the same books I do. So that's why I love having my YouTube channel, because like I actually get to connect with people who read the same books that I do, are just as passionate about reading and about books, and you will find your community. So I think that's super, super lovely. So Chema, I hope I'm not butchering your name, I am sorry, said, what's your least favorite trope? And I saw you ask this question on my Instagram, so thank you for asking the question. I did answer this earlier on because I love this question so much. And my least favorite trope is a memory loss trope. So anything to do with memory loss in a book. So if they lose their memory and they spend the rest of the book trying to remember what they've missed, I just can't stand it, and that ruins the book for me. I don't know about you guys. It'd be interesting to know what your least favorite trope is, so let me know in the chat. Danny said about her read Belgravia, good so far, a bit slow, but I've only read about 100 pages. There is a TV show. Yes, there is a TV show. I actually remember because I think the first publishing house I worked for actually published Belgravia, and I remember it all happening. So I love Julian Fellows, so I am a huge Downton fan. Like, I love that TV show so much. So I think maybe it's time to maybe read and watch Belgravia. Skimmer Staff said in response to John's question about starting a YouTube channel, all opinions are appreciated and valid. Start one and you'll find others who are also interested in the same books as you are. Yes, I completely agree. And also it's nice because you connect with other people. Like, you do make friends on BookTube, on YouTube, and you also get inspired to do other things, and you get inspired to read books that maybe you wouldn't have before. And hopefully, like, you know, I hope that I give that to other people as well. Like, I hope I, you know, through my videos, inspire people to pick up a book they may not have without seeing that video, for example. So I think it's amazing, and I think you should go for it. So in response to what people are doing this weekend, let me have a look at some chats, comments. So I'm going to a flea market and hopefully finishing Yours Cheerfully by AJ Pierce, second book after Dear Mrs. Bird. I've heard of this book, Dear Mrs. Bird, but I didn't realize it had a sequel. So that is really cool. Going to a flea market, that sounds so fun. So fun. And someone said, so sorry everyone, but my least favorite trope is romance. Is romance a trope though? That's what I would say. I don't know if romance would be a trope. I can understand why some people wouldn't like, you know, if a book just has a romance in it for the sake of it. Like, even though I'm a massive romance reader, I kind of agree in the sense of when a romance is just shoehorned into a book, yeah, it's not the one, is it? It just isn't, it isn't fun. Like, I feel like the romance needs to have a place in the story. Otherwise, it's not the one for me. So yes. I also think in 2 minutes, we are going to do another reading sprint. How does everyone feel about that? I mainly suggest it because I have not read enough of this book yet. And you know, I think if you're watching this live show, hopefully you're all big book readers. So let's do a reading sprint. It's going to be a super short one this time around. Let's sprint from 10 minutes past the hour to 20 minutes past the hour. So that is 10 minutes. And I think, you know, let's see how many pages we can read in 10 minutes. I think that will be super good. So get your books ready. If you just joined the chat, let me know what book you're reading in the chat. I really want to know what everyone's reading. And I'm going to be reading The Burning God, as I've told you a million times. It's super good, though. If you have not read the Poppy War series by R.F. Kuang, the first book is The Poppy War. Please read it. Like, you will have your mind blown. So yeah, I think you should all read that. But it is now 10 past, so let's do a super short reading sprint, and then I'll have 10 minutes to kind of chat with you guys at the end, and we can talk about what we're all reading and do a final celebration before I log off for the evening. So quick reading sprint. I'm going to put myself on mute, and good luck with your reading. 10 minutes. I will see you then. Hi everyone, so the 10 minutes are up. I'm now on page 74, so I can't even remember what I got up to before, but I have managed to read well over 20 pages, I think, tonight, which isn't too bad, you know, for like, how long have we been sprinting for? Like 20 minutes? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe that is bad. As I said, it's very war heavy at the minute. Like, it's all very like talking through strategy. And my attention span always wavers when it comes to books like that, but it is super, super interesting still. Let me know how many pages you guys have managed to read, and what book. And yeah, we've got 10 minutes to enjoy this final 10K celebration. I just wanted to say a huge thank you all for joining this live show. It was quite last minute. It was like, I gave you guys like a week's notice, but it's also quite, you know, on a Friday night when most people hopefully will be enjoying themselves. But I really appreciate you all sticking with me and for watching my channel. Let me know if you have any final questions for me in the chat. I'd really like to know, you know, what books you're reading. If you want any recommendations, let me know. I would love to hear from you. I'll also catch up with the chat because I know people have been talking in there. So someone said, thanks to you, I downloaded my first Philippa Gregory. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Philippa Gregory is one of my all-time favorite historical fiction authors, as you probably know if you downloaded it. And if you are looking, I'm sure like most of you guys will have read Philippa Gregory, but if you've not, I recommend the Cousins War series. That series was the series that actually first turned me like into the historical fiction genre, and historical fiction now is like one of my all-time favorite genres. I love history as kind of like a starting point, but historical fiction was a new genre to me before I read Philippa Gregory, and since then I consume all the historical fiction. I love it. And someone said, do you read World War II historical fiction? Good question. I have not read a lot of World War II historical fiction, mainly because I feel like if you're from the UK, you might have had a similar history education to me, where like, especially in like UK schools, like all you're taught about really, especially in my school, was World War I and World War II. And there's kind of an oversaturation, I feel, of that in my head. So I kind of like don't read a lot of World War II historical fiction. I think the novel that really kind of stands out was Birdsong by Sebastian Faulks. I don't know if that's World War I or World War II. If you do know in the chat, let me know. But that novel was like beautiful, amazing. You know, that's the type of World War II fiction that I probably would read more of. Why do I feel like it's World War I though? I can't remember. Let me know in the chat if you do remember. If you've read Birdsong, let me know what decade that was, what war. I'm pretty sure it was World War II. But anyway, I digress. Basically, I don't read a lot of World War II historical fiction. If you do have any recommendations, though, of course, I'm very open to reading, you know, different decades, different eras of historical fiction. And you know, I'm super, super into all historical fiction. So if you have any recommendations for me, let me know. Oh, Chema, sorry if I'm butchering your name again, said World War I. Okay, so Birdsong's World War I. In that case, maybe I haven't read a lot of World War II historical fiction then, which is quite shocking. But again, I'd be open to it. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. What have we got happening in the chat? So someone says, what is a good romance series to start with? And I can see that you, also got my name wrong, but that's fine. You said Lucy, not Bella. That's all good. Good romance series to start with. I would say if you're completely new to the romance genre, maybe don't go into straight romance, because I think like straight traditional romance in the kind of like Regency romance kind of genre may be a bit too much for you, and you may be a bit like, what is this? I would start with something that crosses over genres. So it's romance mixed with another genre. So personally, I really love a more historical romance. And I've just mentioned Birdsong by Sebastian Faulks. I would actually really recommend that book because that has a really great romance to it. And it's not kind of really intense with the romance. And I think if you are new to the romance genre, maybe you're looking for kind of a softer entry point. So something like that, which crosses over, like Birdsong by Sebastian Faulks is always great. I adore historical romance, as you probably know. It's all I talk about on my channel, but there you go. I can see there has been some questions about recommendations for LGBT romances. And Skin with Steph said a couple of pride romances I've read recently are Midnight Girls, which is a fantasy with some romance about women trying to hunt princes' hearts. How have I never heard about this? I'm sorry. I'm going to have to look this up right now. That sounds incredible. And Heartstopper. Heartstopper, if you've not read Heartstopper, is phenomenal. And it is like pure joy. I think that actually is a great entry point to romance because, it's just so joyous. And that's why I love Heartstopper. It's also a series now on Netflix. If you haven't watched it already, you have to watch it. It is so incredible. And I'm a big fan of LGBT romances where it just celebrates the love, it's not kind of necessarily more issues based. And I just think, Heartstopper is a great example of that. In terms of World War II fiction, Chema has said, not World War II, but What the Wind Knows by Amy Harmon is a beautiful story happening in Ireland in the 20s. The time travel romance historical facts. Okay, this sounds so up my street. Also sounds a bit kind of like Outlander-esque, but an Irish Outlander, really, really up my street. John has said, my 15-year-old daughter wants me to read Heartstopper. Yes, you have to. I think it's just joyous, as I've said. It's just pure joy. So I would recommend it wholeheartedly. It's also a graphic novel, which I think, I can read a Heartstopper graphic novel in about like an hour or two. Like, they are super quick reads. So if you're just, looking for something that you can read in less than a day, I'd recommend Heartstopper. So the last 3 minutes of the live are coming up. Let me know if you have any burning questions. I would love to, to talk to you guys, and let me know what you've got going on this weekend. I do have a new video coming up on Sunday, which exclusive, if anyone cares, is my recent reads. So what I'm doing, because I haven't really done any wrap-up videos in a while, I tend not to do wrap-up videos anymore, mainly because I don't read enough books each month to do wrap-up videos. You see booktubers reading like a massive stack of books each month, and if I read 4 in a month, that is a really good month. So I feel too ashamed to do wrap-up videos. So instead, I'm going to do like quarterly recent reads videos. And basically, in this video that will go live on Sunday, I'm going to be recapping all the recent books that I've read and then reviewing them. So hopefully you guys will really enjoy that. Do look out for that video. It's super, yeah, hopefully you love it. And, you get some good recommendations. Although spoilers, it is, most of the books that I talk about have been quite underwhelming. I've been in not a reading slump, but a lot of the books I've read have been really disappointing. So I have some very controversial opinions in that recent reads video coming up on Sunday, which I'm sure you guys will all enjoy. Chema said about, what was the book called? What the Wind Knows. It does sound like Outlander, but it's much more quiet and poetic. I love the sound of that though, because I know what you mean. Outlander is quite intense, like, Outlander is a lot. And she also said, thanks for the lovely live. It's a treat after work and the week. Thank you for joining. Honestly, it means the world to me. And I just am so yeah, like grateful that you guys are just spending this hour with me. I really appreciate it. Skimmer Staff said, I like the idea of quarterly recap videos. I think this makes the most sense for me because I am a big reader. Like I do spend a lot of time reading, but I'm not a quick reader. And so doing monthly recap videos just isn't, feasible. I'd literally be talking about like 2 books a video. So I feel like that's probably not worth putting together. John said, so everyone else, enjoy your weekend. Love from John in Australia. Thanks, John. Thank you so much for joining and for getting up at 3:30 in the morning. Like, that is incredible. So thank you so much for joining this live. And Steph says, congrats again for hitting 10K, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend and celebrations. Thank you so, so much. I am going to call it a night here. And I just want to say a huge thank you for joining this live. Thank you all so much for 10,000 subscribers. Still a bit crazy to me because I've been on BookTube since 2013. And there have been years where I didn't post as much. But over the last few years, I've really just fell in love with it again. So a lot of that is down to you guys watching my videos and supporting me. So thank you all so much. Have incredible weekends. I will see you on Sunday. My video is going live at 5 p.m. UK time. I hopefully will see you in the comments there. But have a lovely weekend. Thank you so much for joining my live. And I'll speak to you very soon. Bye.